There we go. Good morning, everybody. This is Mike with Next 24.
And I'm Sherry.
And today is July 27th. We're so glad to have you on today. Today is going to be a light show today. It's been a busy week. It's been an exciting week. And we thought today would be a wonderful moment to reflect. Last week, we had a little bit of a technical error. We had a great show, but you couldn't hear us. So we thought we'd just take a kind of a quick minute to pause and reflect for today. We don't talk about having fun enough in our lives today. So I thought today, just want to express the idea of today. I hope everyone is having fun. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be hot. It's going to be so forth. So what I wanted to do today is go back to last week a little bit and show you the slides that I was talking about that I think is so important that you take a look at. There we go. Computer's running a little bit slow today. But last week I was talking about the importance of how do you see yourself? You know, everything begins with a thought. And when I was showing these slides last week, I was talking about how on one side we have this closed mindset that we tend to live a victim mentality. We live in scarcity. We see things as mistakes, and we tend to complain. I am embarrassed to say, Sherry, I used to be quite a complainer. Did you ever complain?
Yeah, and I think we all still do.
We all do. I think we fall into that trap and habit. So last week, what I was trying to emphasize, and I want to emphasize this throughout as we do the radio show and we do our podcast, is everything begins with a thought. I hope that if you're taking any notes down, think about that in terms of what you're thinking and how you can control your thoughts and shift your mind to what we call, that open mindset of let's take accountability to create a difference. Let's think about be grateful for what we have in abundance and be grateful. Let's look at mistakes as lessons. I would say, would be the hardest shift.
That is the very hardest shift, Mike. And I think, too, that we forget that, I see the slide we have up is of the brain itself. Yeah. And, I think people forget that the heart and the brain are totally connected. They're totally connected. And, what's in your heart goes to your brain and vice versa. And that kind of determines your mindset, how you start your day, how you react to things, not just in your personal life, but everything going on around you. And we've got a lot going on around us right now.
Oh, it does. And when I look back, Sherry, did you act or did you react to things around you?
I think we have a tendency, I've had a tendency to react rather than to act. And, I think it's human nature. But I think we can kind of retrain ourselves to stop first, keep our mouth closed, and act instead of react.
Oh, I know. And that's such a hard lesson to learn. Stuff like this isn't really taught very well.
No. And it's human. Unfortunately, part of it is human nature. But, I think that if we really try and we really get our mindset right, so to speak, I think we can retrain ourselves.
Oh, yeah. We can over time and experiences. So think about that as you start your day to day. How did you wake up today? Did you wake up grumpy? Did you drink?
I woke up grumpy.
Sherry woke up grumpy.
I woke up grumpy.
Yeah. And I kind of just rolled over and go, nah, here we go. What a day. No, it happens.
I'm not going to react. I'm going to act.
It happens to everybody. It's just so much stress out there, so much going on. So just consider that today. And I wanted to look at that everything does start with the mind. And so as you stop and think when that person pulls you off in traffic, cuts you off in traffic, or you think someone's right behind you too fast and you get upset, think about what you're going to do. But transform yourself, transform or change. I was reading a book the other day where it talked about choice. And it had a list of Choice is up to you whether you wake up to be happy or not. Choice is up to you whether you want to balance your budget. Choice is up to you whether you want to go work out today or not. It listed all these things. Everything is a choice that you, not Sherry, but no, everybody makes. Just think about that. Everything, it has to start with your choices that you make. So that's a little tough. So we talk about that slide. Um, Wanted to go back and look at the third slide here, which is just what are your goals? Have you identified what changes you want to set in specific for today, for the next week, or the next month? Look at some goals. And I read something too. Sherry, what do you think? Instead, our goals are important, but process is just as important as a goal.
Absolutely. Because I think we set out our goals. We write that some people write them down, some just have it in their mind of what you want to accomplish, where you want to be, that type of thing. But we get so caught up in a lot of daily life things and all the issues of the day that we forget to pursue that process, that we forget to see what steps we have to take to achieve that goal. I had just really quick, I had an interesting conversation with a new nurse at my doctor's office this week, and she told me that she was very interested in opera. So I asked her, do you sing opera? She goes, well, I sing, but she said, I just, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm good enough. And, we started talking a little bit, and, I told her, life is so short. So what do you need to do to get from point A to point B to achieve that dream or that goal? She said, well, I never really thought about it. And I said, well, how bad do you really want to achieve that goal? And she said, oh, I would just love it if I could sing opera, but I don't know where to start. Of course, I jumped in. I said, well, maybe see if you can find a reasonably priced voice coach. Start from there. And I'm telling you what, her eyes got big, her eyes lit up. And I think sometimes that we don't think past that dream or past that goal because we just think it's unachievable. We can make it achievable, but you have to take those baby steps, Mike, to get to that point.
And when you think about processes, it's like you can't skip a step.
No.
Look at things as what's the situation, what actions must you take, and what's the result you want to have at the end of the day. If you kind of start thinking that way, that's kind of a simple process.
Right.
And just look. So I would explore that and take a look at that and see what that does for you. And the other one is create a plan. So many people lack a solid plan. I've learned the hard way. Preparation and planning is so important. You hear a lot of people talk about, I can just go right off the cuff. I'll just go. Well, things fall through the cracks. So preparation and planning are a huge key. So it says develop a detailed action plan outlining the steps needed to achieve your goals, include timelines, milestones, and to track the progress. That sounds so easy, but so many people do fail to create a plan, to set goals, or work through it. Sherry, what's been your experience when you set a goal?
Well, in the past, I've just always been so consumed and so caught up with the daily things that, like the girl at my doctor's office, you get caught up with all that stuff and everything falls through the cracks. I mean, if you don't have a plan and set a process in place, it can easily fall through the cracks because you get so consumed with daily life.
Yep.
But I'm learning, and even doesn't matter whether you're young or old, you can still continue to learn. I'm learning that you have to set those steps. For us, we have a big, I don't know what you would call that, Mike. It's paper. It's not a dry erase. It's paper, but we put our goals for the next 30 days and for the 90 days, what our plan is. We write it on that paper, and it's big. I mean, it's big, so we can see it, and then we cross it off as we go along. Do we hit everyone every time? No. But it gives us something in black and white in front of our face to take those steps that we need to get to those goals.
The next slide we look at is, as I said earlier, that mind shift. You hear these terms or phrases a lot, but do you remember when you look at a glass of water and it's half full? Do you look at it half empty or half full? Do you remember the drawings they used to show you in school of the elderly that looks like an elderly woman, but if you relook at it, she's a young lady.
Yes.
You see a lot of those types of things of how do you see things? How do you see your day? How do you see yourself? How do you see your life? How do you see your job? Those things are really, really important, which it's not really taught that much in school.
No.
No, it really, your feelings take over, and then your feelings kind of drive your actions. And there's a lot of anger and frustration today.
That is definitely the truth.
We'll look at that slide. And the other one is developing healthy habits. How many of you sleep in too much? How many of you overeat too much? How much of you drink too much alcohol? What would you advise for healthy habits, Sherry?
There's so much. I mean, even the things you mentioned, plus even overspending. I think healthy habits you have to kind of break down into categories, so to speak. You've got your nutrition that you need to revamp according to your health and according to your lifestyle. And there's so much out there now that you can do, and so many things you can utilize for that. Working out, exercise. It doesn't matter if I talked to a friend last night who just had a surgery, but he is walking up and down the driveway. He's walking around the house to keep the blood pumping so he heals quicker. So there's so many different things you can do. Join a gym, walk around the block, take your dog for a walk. If you're in a relationship, grab their hand and take a walk down the street. Your finances, set that budget and stick to it. And I know nowadays it's really hard to keep to a budget because your money is consumed by the necessities, but try to do that. That's a big stressor right there.
All those little healthy habits, you'll find that it changes your chemistry in your brain. You start feeling a little bit better, like when they say go exercise and stuff. So that's the slide. Surround yourself with positivity. Try to engage with supportive people who encourage you instead of being such a negative influence. Those were the slides I wanted to show from last week. Sherry, let's shift. Would you grab the book for Ricky's devotion? I've got it marked there for you.
Perfect. And if you guys haven't heard us talk about this is our friend, Ricky C. Simmons. And this is one of his books. It's amazing. It's called 365 Days of Redemption. It's a daily journal of inspirational quotes by former NFL player and substance abuse motivational speaker Ricky C. Simmons. We love this book. It's amazing. It's really had an impact on our life. Today, it says, I no longer allow the negative things in my life to spoil all the good things I have. Being happy doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you've decided to look beyond the imperfections. Happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. Everybody get your happy on. I love that. That's Ricky's quote, but it speaks volumes. Get your happy on. And, Mike, I think that, when we were planning the show, we wanted to talk about gratitude and things that we're thankful for. And that's such a big part of the process of your day, of your mindset, of your heart set.
Yeah, no, those are really good. I appreciate Ricky's book and everything that it says in the book. Want to shift now to just our thoughts. We want to share a little bit behind the scenes. We've been so blessed by Derek Pearson from 93.7 The Ticket when we got to meet him. And he gave us the opportunity to start our show. I wouldn't even say our show. It's his show.
Pretty much.
We get to be the participants.
We're the hosts.
Yeah, we get to be the participants on 93.7 The Ticket. Sherry, share your feelings and were you scared? Were you nervous? Last week was our very first show. We'd never been on the radio like that before, but it was a dream. It was a dream to be on a show like this. It was, and I thought to myself, that show or being on that show was the result of 2 years of hard work of putting that book together. Had 2 years ago, had we not put a book together, there'd be no reason for us to be on a radio show.
Right.
So I thought to myself, wow, look at that. the process of hard work. And so when you work hard, opportunities open up for you that you didn't expect them.
That's true. That's true. And we had a lot of closed doors.
Yeah. But
And when a couple doors started opening, and this was a huge door for us at this point in time. I mean, we talk about writing this book and we talk about the process, but and it doesn't matter whether you're writing a book or what you're doing, but until you walk the steps, you have no idea the physicality that it takes out on you, the toll, not toll, but there's so much involved.
Wow.
And the emotional side of it, I mean, the work side's just been unbelievable, but it's been fun stuff.
The lessons that I can share is when we put our heart and soul into something and we give it 110%, and then somebody tells you no, or they act indifferent, like, so I don't care, or they give you that look.
Well, yeah, and
it hurts.
And also you're going to find that a lot of people set expectations, and when you don't meet those expectations that they have for you, that can be a real downer. I mean, where actually you start questioning yourself, am I good enough? Did I do this right? I mean, just all of that silly self-talk that you can really get sucked into, but you have to keep pushing ahead.
So go back to last week, prior to the going down to Lincoln. How were you feeling?
No, I don't know, Mike. How were you feeling? No, I'm kidding.
No, we were anxious.
We were anxious. We were nervous. This was such a good opportunity, an amazing opportunity for us. We probably felt every emotion under the sun. We were excited. We were scared. We wanted so bad to do a good job, to make our families proud, to make our friends proud, even to make Derek Pearson proud, everybody at that station. And, after the first one, but even during the first one, it was like everything just kind of fell into place. We're working with some of probably the most amazing people that I have ever worked with and come in contact with. We were, I know it was God blessing us, but we got the most amazing, what they call the producer, and he's the guy that runs the board and kind of directs, so to speak. He's the choir director, but we got the most amazing producer to work with our show. His name is Harrison. Big shout out to Harrison. And he made it so much easier. They all are making this so much easier, from Derek to Harrison to the time we got to spend just mentoring with Ricky Simmons, all the good advice and information he gave us weeks ago, down to, Bella and Naya that are working hard with our graphics and doing our branding. I mean, it's just, I cannot say enough good about 93.7 The Ticket.
Talk about the when you open that front door and you walk in.
It was big, deep breath and saying a couple little prayers, going, okay, God, you got this.
But talk about how the place looks.
Yeah, the place is amazing. It's so inviting. It's so welcoming. It's really neat, because if you ever get down to Lincoln, you need to just pop your head in there, and you can do that. When you walk in, there's a coffee shop in Lincoln, but there's also one now here in Omaha down on Leavenworth Street. It's called The Mill. And it's just a cool little small business, locally owned coffee shop. They've got a kind of an arm of the mill right there inside their headquarters. And it's, of course, there's Husker paraphernalia and Husker memorabilia everywhere. They have a little corner where there's, you can buy some of Derek Pearson's books. You can buy they even have some Husker shirts, but they have 93.7 The Ticket apparel. I mean, it's welcoming, it's warm, it's friendly. Even on Sunday mornings when there's hardly anybody in there, it just feels good.
It's got a wonderful vibe. The people are great. The people are passionate about what they do. I think 93.7 The Ticket on 11th and O Street will become a national treasure for Lincoln.
Absolutely.
I think I want to just say that I think it's going to be a landmark that where people come in to visit Lincoln. Eventually, that's going to be a place where people are going to want to come see it, just like they see the Stewart Theater,
Right.
now the Rococo.
Right. And it's, but it's the other cool thing about it, Mike, is when you guys go down there, if you get to go down there, if you live down in Lincoln, we have a lot of friends and people that live down in Lincoln, the whole front where you do the radio show from when you're sitting there, the whole front of that in front of you is all windows.
Yep.
So you can see out what's going on out on the streets, on the sidewalk, but people can also walk up and watch what's going on the inside and watch the programs and the live productions. And that's kind of neat too.
So why don't you tell people a little tidbit of what to expect for tomorrow's show?
We are super excited about tomorrow's show. We're gonna have our very first live guest. His name is Ben Hutchins, and I hope I said your name right, Ben. Your last name, but Ben is the chief. I hope I say this right. He's the chief
deputy.
Thank you. The chief deputy of Lancaster County Sheriff Department. He has quite a long list of accomplishments in his career, but Ben has walked a lot of rough patches in his life that he's had to really fight through. He's a survivor of stage 4 colon cancer, and working in oncology and with cancer patients most of my life, I know what an amazing feat it was for him to walk through that journey and to come out the other side healthy and cancer-free. Any kind of stage 4 cancer is very serious, and there's a lot you have to go through mentally and physically and emotionally to get out on the other side. So we're super excited to have him on the show. We're super excited to hear what his story is all about. And we really hope you guys tune in and watch, because I think you're going to be glad you did. I think it's going to be one that's definitely worthwhile listening and watching.
Definitely a wonderful show. And then we want to celebrate Derek Pearson's birthday tomorrow.
Yes.
I don't know if he wants us to announce it, but it is his birthday. So we want to give him the respect.
Absolutely. And wait till you hear me sing happy birthday to him on the radio live.
There we go.
Buckle up, TP.
That'll be quite a show. So that's it for today. I just wanted to give you that breakdown and share that with you. I hope you attend tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
And you can catch us on 93.7 The Ticket. They have an app. They also, you can catch it on YouTube. It's 93.7 The Ticket. For those of you in Lincoln, you can just turn into 93.7 FM and hear the audio.
Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Be blessed, guys.